Welcome back, investors, to Ticker Time News, and this is our after hour show. I am Adam, and we have some breaking news to report today about Bitcoin. It is very big news. The crypto is going crazy right now because of this breaking news. It's up to 62,164 at the moment. It's been on a run. It hit a bit of a wall right around, and we can see it on the screen right here in front of you, right about 62,821. It hit a bit of a resistance right there, a bit of a pullback off of this very exciting news. And I want to talk about this news first. But real quick, before we do, I just want to remind everybody that this live stream, the only reason we're doing it is for you. So if you have a question about a crypto, about a stock, leave the ticker symbol and your question in the comments, and we will go over it live on the show. I have the comments section pulled up. We are monitoring it. So if you leave a question, we will get to it. So the breaking news on Bitcoin is this right here from NASDAQ. And it's dated October 15th, which is today. The Division of Corporation Finance at the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. And it says here, this is to certify that on October 15th, 2021, the NASDAQ stock market, the exchange, received from Valkyrie ETF Trust 2, the registrant, a copy of the registrant's application on Form 8A12B for the registration of the following securities: shares of beneficial interest of Valkyrie Bitcoin Strategy ETF. We further certify that the securities described above have been approved by the exchange for listing and registration upon official notice of issuance. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. We have our very first Bitcoin crypto-based ETF coming to the market very soon. The last thing it says here, we understand that the registrant is seeking immediate acceleration of the effective date of registration, and we hereby join in such request. That's it. This is why Bitcoin is taking off, because we have our first Bitcoin ETF. It is the Valkyrie Bitcoin Strategy, and I believe this is the people behind this ETF is Valkyrie Investments. So this is big news. We know that a lot of different investment companies have filed for Bitcoin ETFs, including Cathie Wood's ARK Invest with BlockFi combined together wanted to create also a Bitcoin ETF. So it is happening. The very first Bitcoin ETF is going to launch. There's approval. And this is the official letter right here. Now, this came out, I believe, on social media about 3 or so hours ago. So it is very new. A lot of people are just catching the news of this, and there are tons of excitement for this. And if we go back and look at Bitcoin here on TradingView, you can see that right here at about let's see, October 14th, it shot up, and then we had the next run right here, October 15th, right about lunchtime, noon, 12 noon Eastern, I would say, right here is when Bitcoin shot up. It broke right past that $60,000 barrier, and I wrote, and I should have pulled this up already, but if you go to our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/tickertimenews. And if you look over here, we have these tabs up here: home, videos, playlist, community. If you go to the community tab, YouTube has recently opened this up so that we can post here. We can post polls, we can post images, we can post videos. It's like a Twitter feed or a Facebook feed. This is the YouTube feed for our channel. So we're going to be posting here regularly about many different things. Mainly, I would say posting charts, because that's the biggest thing that we can do to help investors, is by posting charts and helping investors understand what's happening with different stocks and cryptos and currencies and so forth. So underneath the community tab on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/tickertime-news. We posted earlier today about Bitcoin taking off in the ETF, being approved. And I thought, and I said in the post, that I don't think this will be a sell the news event for Bitcoin. And so far, that's what is happening. There is no selling of the news. There is buying of the news. And I also said that I believe it will only strengthen Bitcoin as more buying pressure will be applied. With this first Bitcoin ETF approved, you got to think that the ETF itself is going to have to go shopping for Bitcoin. Now, they are using futures to do this, which is a little bit different than just buying Bitcoin outright. So that's something that we'll have to break down and go into more detail. But the biggest thing that I want to point out in this post, if you click the read more, the question I proposed was, what do you think about Bitcoin in a year-end bull rally for Bitcoin? A lot of people are calling for Bitcoin 100K by the end of the year. I think 75K is realistic, but I'm not sure about 100K. But the biggest thing that I want to point out, yesterday during the live stream, we were looking at Bitcoin on the charts, and I said that Bitcoin would find resistance at the $59,000 to $60,000 level, because there was resistance there for price, and there was resistance there for its trend line. However, I mentioned that the resistance would probably last a day or two. I was wrong. And if I make mistakes, I want to be upfront and honest about those mistakes, because I don't want you to think that I'm doing anything shady. I want to be transparent and open. So when I make a mistake, I will say I made a mistake. And the mistake that I made was saying that this resistance would last a day or two. There would be a little consolidation, and there would be more momentum to push it above that level. That didn't happen. The resistance at that $59,000 to $60,000 level, it only held for 10 hours. Okay, so I was several hours short on this 1 to 2 day window. It only held for 10 hours before pushing through. And this announcement right here is what pushed Bitcoin up above that $60,000 level and right past that resistance. So right now you can see it's come down a little more since we've been live. It is now at 61,986. Changing constantly. This is great, historic, big news. It's a huge catalyst for Bitcoin. As more investors learn about this news, it is going to apply even more buying pressure on Bitcoin, sending the price up higher. Now, if we look at the chart here, I have it on an hourly view. I'm going to change this to a 1-day view so we can get a bigger overview of Bitcoin. And if you look at where it's at right now, let me get this in here for you. Okay, Bitcoin is right here right now. It's coming close to this blue line right here, and that blue line is at 63,500. There will be a bit of resistance at that price level, but then once Bitcoin breaks that price level, the next area for Bitcoin will be this trend line resistance up here. And what price point is that? That's at $75,000 a coin. Let that sink in for a moment. Bitcoin right now will have a little bit of resistance when it gets to its all-time high area, okay? And remember, earlier this year, right back here, this was on, let me line it up. This was on April 14th, 2021. Right as Coinbase's IPO was happening, Bitcoin got a new all-time high at $64,899. This area right here, this is where that resistance for Bitcoin is going to come into play. But I have no doubt that there will be enough momentum to push Bitcoin beyond this. And like I said earlier, I think it could get to $75,000 by the end of the year. Others are calling for 100,000. We'll have to see. If there's more than one ETF approved for Bitcoin, then yes, I could definitely see it passing the $75,000 mark. So we're watching it. We're paying close attention. Over the past week, Bitcoin is up 15%. Over the past month, it's up 29%. And over the past 3 months, Bitcoin has nearly doubled. It is up 98% in the last 3 months. So it has been moving and moving rather quickly. Here's what I would say if you want to invest in Bitcoin. Wait for a pullback. It doesn't have to be much of a pullback, but do not buy when Bitcoin, when you look at the candles on the chart, and I wouldn't look necessarily at a daily. Go into a 1 hour view of Bitcoin, okay? Look at the chart, and if Bitcoin is on a big red candle, that's not where you want to buy, okay? You want to wait for Bitcoin to pull back off of that candle. So if we look at right here, okay, this was on October the 6th at 9 a.m. in the morning, Eastern time, because we are in Northern Virginia. That's where we're located at. And so we're on Eastern time. So whenever I'm talking about times, that's what I'm talking about. But there was a big run up in Bitcoin right here. Several green candles, because this is an hourly view on the chart. Don't buy into big green candles. It may feel odd to sit out and wait, but wait for the price to settle down, because if you would have bought at the very top right here, if you would have waited just a few hours till about 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon, you could have bought Bitcoin at a slightly lower price. Although, in the grand scheme of things, buying at the top of this candle would have still worked out because Bitcoin is still running. Just don't, this is the one thing that I would say about buying anything, whether it's crypto or stocks. Don't buy when you see a big green candle. Wait for a red candle, okay? Look at the charts, look at the resistance lines, look at trend lines. Use those to your advantage for your entry points. Now, if you're trading, swing trading, day trading, you can use it for your exit points as well. But it's very important, I believe, to learn the basics of technical analysis, because it will help you greatly on finding the best entry point, whether it's crypto or stocks, and if you're swing trading or day trading, to find exit points as well. Okay, so that's Bitcoin. That's the big breaking news. There's going to be a Bitcoin Futures ETF, and it's going to be the Valkyrie Bitcoin Strategy ETF. This will be the very first Bitcoin ETF on the market that you'll be able to actually buy shares of. So this is great news. It's excellent for the crypto community. It's excellent for Bitcoin. It's just wonderful. I am very excited about it. I'm glad that the SEC has approved for an ETF. It's definitely the opposite of what China thinks of Bitcoin. So I'm happy, I'm glad, I'm excited, but don't let that emotion fuel any FOMO, fear of missing out, because as you can see, Bitcoin did run up, right? But there is a red candle forming right now. So it is cooling off a little bit. It's pulling back. That's when you want to execute your buy strategy on red candles, not the green candles. So even though I myself am feeling a lot of emotion, I'm excited about Bitcoin, I want to go buy some Bitcoin, but you have to take the emotion away. You have to use logic and common sense when you're investing. It's very important. It's the number one rule for investing. If you're new to investing, you have to let the emotion go. It's very important. Otherwise, you end up FOMOing, which is fear of missing out. You buy in on a big run, and then you're left holding the bags at the top. And that is not a very good feeling. That's the opposite of the excitement that I'm feeling right now for Bitcoin. So while I do have a position in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano, I'm not buying Bitcoin right now. I've already done my shopping on Bitcoin, but if there are pullbacks, that's when I would add and grow my position in Bitcoin. And right now, I would like to see a pullback back below $60,000 before adding to it. But right now, I'm comfortable where I am. Hopefully, you are too. And you bought, several months ago when Bitcoin was at its worst, at its reddest, and down the most for the year. I'm going to go back to the daily chart here for just a moment. If you were buying Bitcoin in July, you were doing the right thing, while others were trying to scare and fear and spread that FUD, the fear, uncertainty, and doubt through the market on crypto and Bitcoin, saying it's all over, it's going to zero. No, it's not going to zero. This would have been your best time to buy. July, parts of August, even after this little run up. Buy on weakness, buy when things are red, buy when people are fearful, because that's the emotion you feel when you are the opposite of excited about a stock or crypto. I have a friend who is following XRP for a few years and is very bullish. Thoughts? All right, let's go and look at XRP. First, I'm going to go to Coin Market Cap and just kind of give you my thought process for my conclusions on different cryptos. So XRP, it's in the number 6 position right now. It's at $1.14. It's got a market cap of $53 billion. Let's see here. It's up 7.6% in the last 7 days, 0.8% in the last 24 hours. For me personally, XRP is a coin that has a lot of retail investors in it. As far as the project, and we'll look at that in just a moment, so just looking at the stock chart here for XRP, I want to look back here year to date. Okay, so if XRP is sitting here at $1.14, and it's had this massive run up right here earlier to on 414 to $1.93. Okay, so it's off from its high. Let's see, we can go right here to, see, CoinMarketCap gives you a ton of information, and you can go directly to XRP's website here. You can look at their white paper. You can look and see at what they're doing. So I'm just going to scan this real quick. XRP, I do not hold any XRP. I hold Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano. Those are the 3 coins that I hold. Bitcoin, I have the most exposure to. XRP, I have not bought. And I honestly don't know too much about XRP. So XRP Ledger, decentralized, of course, public blockchain led by a global developer community. Okay. Fast, energy efficient, reliable, low cost transactions. That's good. A knowledgeable community. It provides developers with a strong open source foundation for on the most demanding projects without hurting the environment. Okay. So it sounds like it has a strong foundation to it. Let's see. Is there a stronger retail following than other coins? Well, there's a lot of retail in, say Dogecoin and Shiba Inu right now. Let's see. Public structure, streamlined development, high performance, capable of settling thousands of transactions in seconds, proven reliability, 8+ years of consistent performance, over more than 63 million ledgers, low cost at fractions of a penny per transaction. So, just skimming over their documents here and looking at their website, it looks like the project itself, it's got a good foundation. And looking where the price is right now, I wonder, let me go to Trading View. Okay, let me look at the technical structure here for XRP. This is the daily chart for XRP right now. You can see 2021 has just been the year for cryptocurrencies. It seems to be following in a similar path to Bitcoin. Bitcoin also reached its all-time high on April 14th, so did XRP, and that was $1.96. So if I'm looking at the structure of this as a technical picture, this is what I'm starting to see. So right now, it's in a symmetrical triangle type of technical picture for it. It is in an uptrend, and a symmetrical triangle is usually a continuation pattern. So it ran up from its bottom right here on July the 21st, and then it moved sideways. And now it's in this uptrend, which is in a symmetrical triangle. So what usually happens here, and I have an example of this I can go to, but let me just show you here. Usually there's a couple patterns that it can take. It can break out of this, have a little pullback, and then continue on. It can look like that. It can also go this way. even though I would say this likelihood is not the primary focus of where I think this goes. Usually a symmetrical triangle after a rally like we had here usually leads to a breakout to the upside. And if we go to, who was it now? Okay. This is a similar one. This is for ChargePoint. So ChargePoint was in a similar technical structure. This was a falling wedge, which is a little bit different. It's more of a reversal of trend where this was headed down, but then it broke out right here. So this is something that's very similar structure to what XRP is doing right now. So if you are looking at altcoins, if you're looking at anything other than the top three, which would be Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano, what I would say, and even though XRP is in the number 6 place right here, Tether is considered a stable coin, so it's not necessarily fair to put Tether in this category. So if you've got Bitcoin, Ethereum, then say Cardano is your number 3 coin, XRP is the number 4th coin that people are looking at and purchasing. So if you're curious about a cryptocurrency, any one of the other ones, even Dogecoin, anyone, Litecoin, Chainlink, anyone, go to CoinMarketCap, click on the coin that you want to look at, go to their actual page and start reading some of their documents that they have. Read what's happening in the community. And then after you've kind of formed your opinion on what you think of the coin and their project, because all altcoins, they're trying to solve a problem. And many of them are going after different problems. Some may go after, say, an energy problem where they want to use only renewable energies. They don't want to use any oil-based, petroleum type of energy. So they create their altcoin to solve that problem, and that's what their purpose is. And then other people can use their technology to grow that platform. So that's what XRP is doing. They are trying to solve a problem, and it looks like they're trying to solve payment speed issues. That looks like one of their biggest things that they're trying to solve is speeding up payments, making them less expensive. But of course, digging into the white paper that they have on their project can reveal possibly even more things that they're trying to solve, more problems they're trying to solve. So that's what I would suggest doing if you're interested in investing in a coin. That's the process that I would go through, and then finally end on charting it out and seeing if now would be the right time to buy that coin or not. Looking at XRP right now, it looks like it's in a pretty stable place to buy right now. It hasn't had any major run-ups like this run-up right here at the beginning of August. It's kind of settled down. It's in an uptrend pattern. It's got a symmetrical triangle pattern, which typically leads to a breakout to the upside. So I don't know if that answers your question thoroughly enough, because I'm not that knowledgeable on XRP, but that's the process that I would take to become more knowledgeable. Having trouble understanding crypto in general, what is the end game for cryptos? Can they be bought out by companies or countries? Okay. let's break this down to a couple of smaller questions. So, cryptocurrency. What is the point of Bitcoin? What's the point of Ethereum? The point of cryptocurrencies is to have a financial foundation that cannot be controlled by any one country. It cannot be, Bitcoin, for example, cannot be bought by a company. It cannot be bought by a country. It is decentralized, meaning that multiple individuals in a community can not control it. That's not the right word to use, but they can help build upon it. What cryptocurrency in its purest form, it is to be a currency that Bitcoin, for example, is designed to be a decentralized currency that nobody can own or control. So no country can own Bitcoin. No individual company can own Bitcoin. It's decentralized. Our current fiat system is centralized around central banks. They're centralized around governments. And their paper money that they print out of thin air to give to citizens could be worthless. If inflation went high enough, fast enough, then that dollar would be worthless. On the other hand, Bitcoin, for example, it is finite, very similar to gold. There's only going to be 21 million coins circulating, and that's it. There can never be any more printed or created, not printed, created than 21 million. And right now, Bitcoin only has 18.8 million coins in circulation. So there's only 2 some odd million coins left that can be, quote, mined. And then that's it. There's no other Bitcoins that can be mined or created. Once it reached 21, that's it. There's no more. So it's meant to be a store of value, very similar to gold. It's like a digital gold. That's Bitcoin. That's what Bitcoin is to be used for. There's going to be a small amount, 21 million coins, and that's it. No company, no country can come in and dilute Bitcoin by adding another 21 million coins in circulation to equal 42 million coins. Nobody can do that. Once it's at 21 million, that's it. That's a cap. It cannot go any bigger. So that means those holding Bitcoin, the value of that Bitcoin is going to continue to rise as Bitcoin becomes more scarce. So that's what Bitcoin was designed for, to be a digital store of value like gold. Now, Ethereum, for example, was created to be more like a currency that we use every day, where you can use the Ethereum, you can use their coins to buy and sell and accept that currency. Just like the dollar is used in the United States and across the globe. You can use $1 to go buy yourself a bottle of water. Well, you could use, I don't know what the actual math would be, say you would use one tenth of one Ethereum coin to go buy that bottle of water. So it's kind of like using your debit card or your credit card to purchase. What is the barrier to entry? What's stopping a million more new cryptos from being created to do the same thing? So, like I just said with Bitcoin, right now you have miners that are mining Bitcoin. Well, those miners, they're using not pickaxes and big machinery. They're using computers and hard drives to solve complex problems. And when they solve a complex problem, then it unlocks and it creates a Bitcoin. And it can take several days to several months to create that Bitcoin. There are only allowed in the programming of Bitcoin, there can only be 21 million coins in circulation. Once 21 million coins have been mined, then there can be no more mining of Bitcoin. That's it. It's done. The problem is solved and the door is locked away forever that nobody can break into. So Bitcoin's designed to be a store of value like gold is. So you can't just say, well, I'm going to put 1 million more Bitcoins into circulation today just because. I'm going to print it out of thin air and put it into the ether. That can't happen. It can't be done. Our governments, on the other hand, with fiat currency, they can just run the money printer until they want, printing trillions of dollars. That cannot happen with Bitcoin and other cryptos. Now, Ethereum, for example, they are creating coins, but then they also burn coins. So they have a set amount of coins on the market. Now, every other coin outside of Bitcoin is different from Bitcoin, where the supply of coins can change. But it takes a large group of people to make the decisions on whether or not to add more, to subtract more. Right now, Ethereum is going from proof of stake concept to a proof of work concept. And that is going to be the Ethereum 1.0 to the Ethereum 2.0. When that happens, it will be harder for someone to say, okay, let's add another 20 million Ethereums to the market. So I know I'm talking about a lot of different aspects of cryptocurrency. To try to sum it up, Bitcoin is like gold. 21 million coins, that's it. There can never, ever, ever be any more added. So the value of that will go up as more people want it, because there will be no more supply. All you have is demand. Other cryptocurrencies, Ethereum, Cardano, XRP, they are created to solve a problem. A lot of them are created to be used as currency like we do with our fiat currency that we use today. And another thing about cryptocurrency is the world is moving into a digital world at a much faster rate than ever before because of the virus that we had and people being shut down, having to work remote, has caused a seismic shift. In this new digital world, and to add another complexity on top of this, once this digital world transitions to the metaverse, where we're interacting virtually with virtual headsets, we're going to need a digital type of financial system in order to transact. And that's another problem that Bitcoin can solve as we move to that digital future. So it's a lot to wrap your mind around, and it is complicated. Education is the best thing that any investor can do. And I wouldn't say jump in and buy Bitcoin, invest in Bitcoin until you understand it and you feel comfortable with it. So just because others are jumping into it and because others are saying, oh, this is it, this is the one, this is the generational transfer of wealth. Well, no, slow down. Not exactly. We do need to understand what we're getting involved in. But that's kind of how I see cryptocurrency. And again, I'm not sure if that answers your question precisely, but it should give you at least a bird's eye view, a macro view of what is happening with crypto. Now, as far as a barrier to enter crypto, the barrier is no bigger or smaller than your normal barrier that you have to go through in order to invest in stocks. I understand that a brokerage firm like TD Ameritrade or Webull or Robinhood or SoFi, they have more regulation and more protections for an investor buying stocks than, say, going to BlockFi or Coinbase to start investing or trading cryptocurrencies. They're less regulated. That's the big difference. The barrier is equal. It's no bigger, it's no smaller. You can hop on Robinhood, join Robinhood, and you can buy a stock just like you can buy crypto. You can buy a portion of a stock, they're called fractional shares, just like you can buy a fractional piece of a Bitcoin. So if you wanted to buy $5 of stock, you hop in your Robinhood app or Webull or SoFi or any one of these brokerages, and you can buy $5 worth of Apple stock or Tesla stock, and you can buy $5 worth of Bitcoin. So the barrier is, again, no bigger, no smaller than a typical brokerage where you go to buy stocks. So it's a rather easy entry to start buying Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano. If you're unsure of which platform to use, if you look in the description for this video, there are a few links that you can go try out SoFi or Webull or Robinhood or Coinbase or BlockFi, where you can purchase stocks and you can purchase Bitcoin. Start with $1. See how that goes. Did any of that information help? I hope it did. I really do. I know it's a complicated topic to go over, especially if you're new to it and not quite sure of it. So if you have any other questions, go ahead and leave them, and we can go over it. If you want, I can try to break it down. What about barriers for entry for new cryptos, the next Dogecoin? Okay. So if there's a new cryptocurrency created, okay, you would need a team of developers, and it's like starting a business. They would need to be able to understand how to, say, maybe fork Ethereum and build their own type of crypto coin on top of Ethereum's framework. So they would be starting their own business, their own coin. Then they would need to go through a few processes of getting it listed on exchanges. Now, coins get listed on different exchanges at different times. It's not universal that once a new cryptocurrency has been created, that it just automatically appears on all of the exchanges that accept cryptocurrency. Because if you look at, say, Coinbase and BlockFi, who are two crypto exchanges, which are like brokerages, but they're not regulated like brokerages. Coinbase has way more coins that you can invest in or trade than BlockFi does. But they're being added every day. New are being added. Let me look if I can see here if anything has been added recently to Coinbase. Just to give an example, it doesn't look like, let's see here. I've got to log in here to Coinbase. And then I can see. No, there hasn't been any coins added today. But they add coins regularly on Coinbase, much more frequently than they do on, say, BlockFi, for example. So, yeah, that's crypto. I understand it can be complicated. I just think about myself. When I started looking into crypto, I've done hours, days, weeks even, of reading about crypto and Bitcoin to understand how it works. And it's, for me, since I'm still kind of new to crypto, new as in, well, 3 years, I've been following cryptocurrency. But after 3 years, it's still hard for me to explain it in any easier terms than what I just went through with you guys. So I hope that helps. is it considered dilutive when more and more cryptos come on the market? No. When a new coin comes on the market, like, I mean, if we look at coin market cap here, I mean, there are a bunch of coins. There's more. It's almost like the stock market where there's like thousands of stocks. There are now hundreds of coins. And just because a coin is created, like, I don't know, take any of, take Sushi Swap right here. When it was created, brand new, nobody knows about it. So it's not like if you're holding, let's say, a stock and a company issues more stock to dilute the value of the stock of the shareholder, so the company then can make or raise, not make, but raise capital. That's a dilutive act. Just because a new cryptocurrency comes on to the market, it doesn't dilute other cryptocurrencies. Now, what it can do is if somebody is interested in that cryptocurrency, they may sell some cryptocurrency of a different coin, like maybe this, maybe somebody sells Bitcoin gold, so they can then go purchase Sushi Swap. That is the only, and I wouldn't even call that dilutive, but that's when someone is selling one crypto just to buy another. It doesn't shrink the market, but it could expand the market to make the cryptocurrency market even bigger than it is now. But it's not like when shares are issued to dilute a stock. Now, it is possible that a coin, a crypto, an altcoin, could issue more coins. That's possible, and that would be dilutive. But take Bitcoin, for example. Once 21 million Bitcoin have been created or mined, there can never be a single Bitcoin brought into the market. Not a single one. So it will hold at 21 million. It won't go up. It won't go down. The supply part of the equation is done with. It's only demand that will dictate Bitcoin's price. Let's see. Let's see. Through Bitcoin and Ethereum, the asset class is likely to wildly outpace capital flowing into new and strange coins. Yes, absolutely. That's why, me personally, I have Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano, and that's it. I don't have any other crypto, not investing in any other coins. I understand those three coins to a certain extent, and I'm comfortable with what I know about those three coins to invest in those three coins. I'm not looking for other coins to ride any hype trains or lose money because of being left holding the bag at the top. Think of Bitcoin as an iPhone with all the kinks worked out. New coins can challenge the marketplace, but only if they're better and find popularity. Yes, that is very true. Absolutely. Thank you for helping to explain that. also just remember that Bitcoin and other coins, there can be differences. Bitcoin is created to be a store of value in my mind, more so than it's created to be a currency that we use to buy things. Ethereum, on the other hand, or Cardano, they're more designed to be transactional, because the amount of coins in circulation can change. There can be new coins created, but they also burn old coins to try to keep with inflation. So just a few thoughts there on Bitcoin. I hope it does help. If that does, then what I'm going to do is move on to, or let's see, Ethereum has a good product and market cap to match. Yes, it does. Ethereum's market cap could potentially beat and surpass Bitcoin. I mean, it would take a lot to do it, but it's possible in the future it could, as Ethereum is, as their supply changes, then it's possible that it could outpace Bitcoin, because Bitcoin will reach a certain point where the supply is capped and it's nothing but demand driving it. Okay, so we've been talking about crypto here for a while. I do want to touch on the market. There's a few individual stocks that I wanted to touch on. So if it's okay, unless you want to stay on crypto, we can. Otherwise, there are some things that I wanted to talk about in the market today. And there are some catalysts, small catalysts for individual companies coming up. And just as a reminder, why is Bitcoin spiking so high right now? Well, it's because the SEC has approved the Valkyrie Investments, their ETF, the Valkyrie Bitcoin Strategy ETF, that will be coming out that you can actually buy. So that is being used as a big catalyst for Bitcoin right now. And we went over the chart for Bitcoin. Talked about on our not our website, but our YouTube channel, in the discussion area. YouTube has opened that up for us now, so we can use that as a tool to communicate and talk about things, post questions, polls, photos, and so forth. So we already started posting in there today, and it's just like a Twitter feed or Facebook feed, but it's here on YouTube with our videos. So it's a cool place to go check out. So I haven't seen anything else about crypto, so I'm going to talk a little bit about the market and what I saw in the market today outside of the big news of cryptocurrency itself. So let me just hop over here. So you can see the market today was pretty balanced. It was up a little bit. We had almost equal red and green today, with companies being up slightly 0.2%, and then another half of them being down 0.2%. There were some other small, bigger movers, but not a lot today. So it's been pretty equally balanced out, and that's why the indices were up today and stocks rallied. The Dow Jones actually added about 400 points to a 5-week high. The S&P 500 touched a 4-week high after retail sales in the U.S. posted another unexpected strong rise in September, a sign of resilience in our economy with consumers. Meanwhile, the earnings season continues with results from Goldman Sachs. They smashed their forecasts right out of the water. Other big banks have also reported. On Thursday, 8 S&P 500 companies reported quarterly results, with each topping estimates, led by the financial sector, Bank of America, Morgan Stanley, Citigroup even. They all did well. On the week, the 3 key indexes have all booked gains for the week. And a place that I use to do this research is csimarket.com. And they have this really cool and easy to use tool where you can look. So they have 1 day, 1 week, month, quarter, year to date, best performing, worst performing. So today, the best performing was actually the retail sector. It was up 1.6%. Conglomerates were up 1.1%. Transportation, which is a topic that I want to touch on here in just a moment, was up 1%. You tap on worst performing and, of course, close out the ads. Oh, come on. We get that the consumer non-cyclical was down 1%. Utilities were down 0.25%. And services were down 0.1%. And you can use this for the week, month. It's a cool little place to track the sectors and how they're performing. So for the week, consumer discretionary did the best, up 3.96%. Retail came in second place, up 3%. Energy third place, up 2.96%. And transportation was fourth, up 2.64%, I believe that is. So it's just a cool little site that you can use to look at the segments and how they're doing. Now, to a few individual stocks that I want to talk about. Number one is Generac, and their ticker symbol, GNRC, Generac Holdings Incorporated. Now, they have been on a fantastic run. This is a daily chart. This is going back to August of last year. It's almost a nice perfect up and to the right. They were up another 4.19% today. So Generac rallying to a 3-week high after Truist initiated coverage on the stock with a buy rating and a $500 price target. That's a nice 10% upside for such a solid company. Truist notes the company's core generator product, because that's what they have staked their business on, is by building generators, but they spread out to now creating battery packs like the Tesla Powerwall. So they've got their own kind of Powerwall battery pack, and they're doing a fabulous job with it. But Truist talks about their core generator product as strong brand recognition and has become widely associated with residential reliability during an outage. So if there's a hurricane, tornado, bad weather, snowstorm, if the power goes out, their generators have been keeping the power on for homes across the country, and it's a wonderful product. I don't know if you've heard of them before or looked into them, but their generator, if the power goes out in a few seconds, like backup generators at hospitals or something like that, their generators will kick in within a few minutes of power going out without you having to do a thing. Truist also sees Generac growth accelerating further in 2022 as consolidation activity has only grown in the second half of 2021, with capacity bottlenecks likely to continue and then start to ease at the end of 2021. So they see their growth just going for the next year and more even. So remember, don't buy on green days, buy on weakness. When things are red, when things are down, that's when you want to buy, not when things are green and have gapped up like Generac did today. Additionally, Truist noted that Generac has aggressively expanded its product offerings with battery storage and products serving the residential solar space, which Truist sees as another opportunity for growth. After Enphase Energy, Generac is my number 2 spot. I love the company. Enphase, number 1 for their solar and for their inverters, and then Generac for their generators and their battery storage capability. That's why I love those two companies in tandem together. Excuse me for one moment. I need to wet that whistle. Okay, sorry for doing that. I had to. I've been talking now for a while. We're doing good. Okay. Like I alluded to earlier, I want to talk about transportation stocks. Before I do that, I feel like I'm seeing Generac through the window. So pretty, but I can't afford it. Can't buy it, but I can't buy it. Excuse me. Yes, it is expensive at $451. But one way to sneak into it is possibly doing fractional shares to build out a position in the company. It is an expensive stock. That is true. $451 a share. It would be good if they would have a split, maybe a 2-for-1 or a 3-for-1 split to lower their costs, to make entry a little easier for others. But I still love the company and what they're doing. Now, with the supply chain broken and back orders galore, I think the transportation industry is going to do good things for the next year. So I want to talk about how the transportation industry has been performing pretty well, and how I think they're going to continue to perform well until this supply chain gets worked out. Now, there's a few individual stocks that I want to point out for the transportation sector, because as we saw earlier, they were in the 4th place for performance over the past week. The first one is a huge trucking company, and it's J.B. Hunt, and their ticker symbol is JBHT. Huge gap up today, major gap up. So J.B. Hunt, they were up 8.7% today. I mean, just incredible. And this is looking at just over a year, going back to last August. They've also almost been up and to the right. This is not a company I would buy right now because of the huge gap up and run today. But it's been the best performer in the transportation sector, rallying to a fresh record after beating Q3 expectations. And I think that is a theme that will continue for most transportation stocks. They're going to continue to be earnings because the demand for trucking, for trains, for boats, for anything in the transportation sector is going to remain high until the supply chain gets fixed and worked out. The other company I want to look at is Old Dominion. They're also a trucking company. Their ticker symbol is ODFL. And again, if you look at them since last August, almost beautiful up and to the right. You can look at this yellow line. This is their 200-day moving average. It's nearly a straight line. It's really hard to find companies like this that are performing so well. They were up 2.3% today. They're at $302 a share. They had a small gap up earlier today, and then rose up, but they're at a resistance point right around $300 or so, has been resistance for them 3 times now. So if we look, September 7th, they got rejected there. September 27th, they were rejected. And then now today, October 15th, they have reached that point again. So is this a place that is going to max out for Old Dominion, or do they have more room to go? What it's going to take is momentum. And if you look, if I draw a line down here on the relative strength index, that's going down. So they're losing momentum as they have reached this ceiling here that they just can't pull through. Volume has stayed roughly the same. If I go all the way back to the dip right here in June and just put a straight line across volume, I mean, you can see there was a dip here after they had earnings right here, but otherwise volume has stayed roughly the same. So they're losing some momentum, but it's a company to watch. I think they have a lot of growth ahead of them. They nearly beat their fresh record high that they hit in September of $304.79 today. Came close. Next company I want to look at is a railroad company, CSX, and their ticker symbol, CSX, is the same as well. Let's get that pulled up here. Now, they are not as clean up and to the right, but they've had some pullbacks. They've been on a run lately. They were up 2% today. They're at $34.16 right now. They are approaching their all-time high from August, but it's a company to watch. It's a railroad company, so they're going to be busy. Another railroad company that I believe is going to be busy is Norfolk Southern. Ticker symbol is NSC. Now, they were up and to the right until they reached a high in May 10th, is when they reached their all-time high of $295. Now they're down to $275. So they definitely have more room to run. There's more upside for them. Their recent bottom was on October the 1st, and they reversed trend, and they reversed it really hard and have gone up pretty nice. They are at their best level right now since early June. Now, going back to where this live stream originally started, talking about crypto. I want to talk about Hut8 Mining. Their ticker symbol is HUT. Hut8 Mining. They're at $12.22. They were up 15.7% today. They had a bottom here at the beginning of October. Why is this company on my radar? Well, D.A. Davidson initiated coverage on Hut8 Mining with a buy rating and a $20 price target. A $20 price target. From their $12.22 level, that is a 64% upside. A whopping 64% upside, according to Davids. So, Hut8 Mining is on my radar, and this upside, 64%, got my attention. So, Hut8 Mining is their top pick in the Bitcoin miner space on valuation, saying the company is set to scale rapidly. They added that earnings growth is set to materially exceed expectations. So keep Hut8 Mining on your radar. Now, just a few catalysts, and then I'm going to wrap this live stream up for this coming week on some specific companies. Monday, October 18th, at 1 p.m., Apple, ticker symbol AAPL, is holding a special second fall event during which it's expected to unveil a new Mac and MacBook computer models powered by its own silicon chips. There is some talk that new AirPods could also be unveiled. Keep an eye on Globalstar, ticker symbol GSAT, which could see a share price reaction if Apple does or does not discuss offering satellite phone service of some variety. So keep that in mind. Tuesday, October 19th at 1 p.m., Apple's rivals, Google, is holding its Pixel Fall launch event. The company is expected to unveil its new Pixel phones. Some reports indicate Google could be launching a Pixel Fold with a Pixel Watch even. Excuse me, got a bug flying in my face. That's kind of odd. Anyways, Pixel phones, possibly a Pixel Watch, maybe even a new Pixel Pass service at the event. On Wednesday, October 20th, Riot Blockchain, ticker symbol RIOT, holds an investor tour of the Whinstone facility. The site is said to be North America's largest Bitcoin mining facility as measured by developed capacity. The Whinstone upside is a core part of the bullish thesis for Riot. Now, if Riot does well at this presentation, you could expect Hut 8 mining to also lift off because of that. So watch both companies. Tesla, 5:30, same day. Tesla, ticker symbol TSLA, holds its earnings call. Investors will be watching for color on the impact from the global chip shortage and supply chain disruption after last quarter. Elon Musk called the situation, quote, quite serious. Tesla's in-sourcing chip design has left the automaker in much better shape than peers, but also impacted by the ongoing supply chain issues. Plus, every earnings record Tesla has on its books should be broken, as this should be Tesla's best earnings report ever in the history of earnings report. They blew it away on deliveries and production. I expect this earnings report to be massive. That could move the stock substantially as well. And the last one I want to mention is October 21st, JustEatTakeaway.com, ticker symbol GRUB, GRUB, holds its Capital Markets Day to provide the market with future details on the company's strategy and long-term growth plans. The update could have some read-through for Uber Eats, ticker symbol Uber, UBER, and DoorDash, ticker symbol Dash, DASH. Well, that's what I saw in the market today. What did you see in the market today that you liked or didn't like? I look forward to your comments. As far as the live stream goes for today, I'm going to wrap it up here. We talked a lot about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. I hope everyone learned something new from it. So thank you all so very much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. And I will see everyone in the next video, which will be later on this evening. We have a video coming up on ChargePoint. And then after that, we're going to have a video this weekend on Bitcoin. And the next live stream will be on Monday. So I hope to see you all there. Thank you so very much for watching. I will see you in the next video.